When Time Kettle contacted me and asked me to do a review of their two new Fluentalk language translators, I was kind of surprised. The last review that I did for them on the W2 Plus, I gave it a 2. So getting this request really made me kind of feel that they must have made some great improvements in what they've come up with as far as a language translator. And they did. We're going to take a look at the Fluentalk T1. That's the one on the top on the right, and also the T1 Mini, both created by Time Kettle. And you're going to see that they can do some pretty amazing things. The first one, the T1, that actually looks like a small cell phone, and it even has a place so you can put a card into it to use it with your cellular network. The Mini does not have a card slot. Both of them work with Wi-Fi, and both of them have the capability of working if you do not have a Wi-Fi signal. And that's where I think the important thing is. They come with the T1, the bigger one comes with 2 years worth of data, free data, and the Mini comes with 1 year. But truth be told, as far as I'm concerned, most of the time you're going to be working offline if you're out of the country. And that's where the important part becomes as far as these two units. They both give you, and I'm talking about English to another language, they both give you the ability to download language packages to be able to translate 7 languages between English and the other language. And we're talking about what I've downloaded is Chinese, Japanese, French, Spanish, Russian, German, and Korean. And on the T1, it took up 12 gigabytes of the 32 capacity. On the T1 Mini, you can only, as far as for offline translations, you can only download 4 language packages. That means that you have to do some pre-planning, and you must have an internet connection to do the downloading of the language packages. So what that actually means is, plan ahead. What I did is I did download 4 languages to it, and I don't know if I chose different languages, if it would have changed how much space, but it took up 57% of the 8 gig capacity of the Mini. The T1 has a 32 gigabyte capacity. So you can see it has a much greater capacity in the T1. That's something, of significance that you really want to be aware of. And my concept here is to make you aware of most features, positive and negative features on both units. T1 has lots and lots of kind of possibilities of what you can do with it. I gave it a very high rating, and the Mini also deserves a very good rating. And with that, I'm going to be showing you some graphics. We're going to do some experimenting, which you'll be able to see later in this video, to give you an idea what it's all about. I will be mostly concentrating in this review on the T1, which has more capabilities than the Mini. The Mini will do one-click translation, offline translation, and photo translation. And of course, the T1 will do those 3 and many, many others. The difference in price, which makes me feel that the bigger unit is the better thing to purchase, would be really a penny less than $150 for the Mini and a penny less than $300 for the T1. And of course, that's the MSRP prices. And I will have a link in the actual review where you can go right to their source and hopefully get a 10% discount at least on it, and free shipping, and the ability to try it yourself and actually return it if you're not happy with it. And with that, let's take a look at a kind of graphic that shows you what the T1 is all about. And again, the difference between the two, besides size, is the limit on functionality of the Mini.
Volume key is on the left side, while power key, the other language, and your native language are on the right. Press and hold the power button, and the translator will be turned on automatically. The first time of turning on the translator, you are required to follow the instruction on the screen to activate the device. Use the slot pin to insert to the hole, and SIM card slot will eject. The translator also supports Nano SIM card. After you have installed the SIM card, please switch the network to your Nano SIM card in the Setting Network and Connection Mobile Data. Tap the upper left corner of the screen or swipe right on the edge of the left-hand side of the screen to return to the previous screen. Swipe down on the home screen to bring up the quick setting. On the home screen or any translation screens, you can select the other language and your native language. Tap the upper right corner on any translation mode screen and enter the translation setting. One-click translation mode. Hold the red button to speak your native language, and the translation will play automatically when you release. Hold the blue button, the other person can start speaking. When the translator is on standby, press any button to start one-click translation mode right away.
Disculpe, me gustaría reservar una habitación sencilla.
Excuse me, I would like to book a single room.
Of course, sir. May I have your passport, please?
Por supuesto, señor. ¿Puedo tener su pasaporte, por favor?
Chat translation mode. Put the translator in the corresponding direction of two parties, select their own languages, and press the button to start the translation.
How do you like the place you were yesterday?
¿Qué te parece el lugar donde estuviste ayer?
Oh, no, nada que ver con las fotos.
Oh no, nothing to do with the photos.
Listen mode. Place the translator in front of the speaker and click Record to start recording and translating in real time.
Amigos, síganme, los llevaré al siguiente destino. ¡Vámonos!
Ask for direction mode. Tap the upper right corner of the screen and tap the sign plus. Input text manually or record the voice to translate. In any translation mode or lock screen, you can double push the power button and the translator will automatically play the pre-configured translation you set up in advance. Tap anywhere on the screen to exit Ask for Director mode. Tap the camera button, and the translator will automatically scan and translate the text. Tap Save on the upper right corner, and the translator photo will be saved in the album. Tap Setting to select Offline Translation Mode, which is only available when offline language packs have been downloaded with internet connection. You can enable or disable this function in the translation settings of any modes.
My concept here is to make you aware of most features, positive and negative features on both units. Another feature is in the actual ability to take a picture and then translate it. Menu set up, and I'm going to take a picture of it with the Mini. Now you can see it's starting to do the translation. Okay, I'm going to do now translation. Photo translation English to Hebrew on the T1. And I'm going to come down and try to hold it steady and not be in the shadow of it. And you can see it is now working on doing the translation.
Slide. I can increase the size so you can clearly see that it has done translation into Hebrew.
You are working with a small screen on both units, but a much smaller screen on the Mini. And this does have an effect when you, let's say, take a picture of a menu. The screens, you can move your finger around, you can move your image, you can magnify a little bit. But I felt that there would have been a much better feature for both units. And so we're now talking about what I liked and disliked. It would have been much better for you to have the ability to use Bluetooth to be able to take what is on the translator and send it to either an iPad or your cell phone if you have a big cell phone, and be able to see things there. The Mini had a louder volume, which was a good point. I would have liked to see that I wasn't at maximum on volume on either unit. The T1 itself, the volume was a little low, and in a noisy situation, I would see this as a problem, especially if your hearing isn't too great. That would also make it a problem. Those were the two most significant problems that I saw with both units, and did have a kind of a good time playing around with them and seeing what their actual capabilities happen to be. I would recommend the T1 over the Mini because of its features. And as far as downloading with the T1, do realize if you have the SIM card inside it, you can use cellular to do the download. You don't have to have a Wi-Fi connection as long as you do have an active cellular network wherever you happen to be. To sum up, with the T1, that's the one up on top, you can do 40 languages translations, as long as you have either a cellular network or Wi-Fi that's active. With the Mini, you can do 36 languages with a Wi-Fi network that's active. You cannot do it with a cellular network. When I did the language translation, I chose Hebrew. That's the one where I took the photo. And the reason I chose Hebrew is it's an easy language to recognize. But, and this is a very important but, it is not one of the languages that has a translation package, which means that you would not been able to have done that translation offline. If I had chosen Chinese, Japanese, French, Spanish, Russian, German, or Korean, languages where there is a language package that you can download, then I would have been able to do that translation offline. Now, again, remember that with the Mini, you can only download 4 languages, not the 7 that I just read out all at once, but you could do the 7, but you would have to decide, okay, I don't want the French and Russian anymore. I'm going to erase those and I'm going to add 2 different languages, that kind of thing. I gave both these units a 5-star rating, meaning I was very impressed with both of them. Now, if you go to order this, I want to make certain that you realize things. I had mentioned about 10% discount from the company and the idea of being able to try it and then send it back if you don't like it. These kind of offers change, and if you do go to offer it and order it, and you'll see a link to be able to in the actual description, make certain what is available at the time that you actually order it, so that you don't find yourself stuck with a product that you don't like if they remove the possibility of trying it and returning it. And they might not be giving 10% discounts at the time that you go to order it. And of course, they might be giving better discounts. Purchase one of these units and test it out and use it. Please let me know how you find it, because I will certainly add comments. And really a good summary would be in the written review that you will find at www.technologytoday.us. Okay, this again is Alan Pierce reporting for Tech Today Video and www.technologytoday.us.